Hi, Jack. My name is Kaylee, and I hate making these. um, it just feels so fake every time I do it. I can't seem to like anything I've recorded, but we're just gonna go for it. I think maybe it would be easier if I just talked about like my life and chronologically. So I'm just thinking like of all those stupid things I could start with, but from when I was a child, I remember that I was very like I was feisty. I fought a lot because things were right and there was justice that was not being like served. Like justice was not being met. And this was a really big issue for me. Like I needed fairness. I needed like I couldn't lie. I was like, if you wouldn't want anyone to know about it, why would you do it? Like, don't lie about anything. Integrity. I was really obsessed with integrity from like a very young age. Like, I was just like, be who you are, who you are, who you are. Don't lie to yourself. Yeah, it was like kind of intense. It was very literal, but like I really wanted so badly to be funny, and I loved funny people. I just like felt very. I just felt like yeah, I just felt very like like I just had all these like huge thoughts. Like I was just like thinking about like death and hell. Like first grade, I like distinctly remember this. And then I remember like being in middle school and thinking about how like generational like blessings and curses I could pass down to my kids, and like these aren't even things that I was necessarily taught. It was just like kind of intuitive, like okay, well the things I do now, they're going to like impact my kids and like the future like generation for my kids, and like so everything I do now is very intentional. It matters a lot. It's very important. And so like I really it felt like started developing like this inner character like from a very young age. I was so intentional about it. So I was planning my life. I was planning like my future kids, and I'm messing with my hair so much. I was planning my future kids and like their names and like what school district should they go to, and like okay, the name meanings, because meanings of names matter to me a lot. And like I would plan like their chore charts, which was absurd. I would think about like my future friend group. I would like draw houses, and like I was always just kind of like in my own dream world. I like mostly played by myself. Especially like in school, I don't know. I just there wasn't like I just didn't get other. I don't know. I really don't. I can't say that like yes, I was rejected a little bit. I have like a memory of being rejected in grade school. Like I wanted to play with like these two girls, and they were like, well, you're not in Girl Scouts, so you can't play with us. And I was like, that's stupid. I just remember being like, what a dumb reason to be friends with somebody. But like other than that, like I remember like the new girl, who was obviously thus the popular girl, chose to sit next to me in first grade. And I was like, I just like had this knowing that she would though. Like she was at the front of the class, and I just like made eye contact with her. I was like, she's gonna sit with me. And then it was just like me and her and like my two guy best friends. And but yeah, I was just like very in my own little world. And I don't think it really necessarily bothered me, I guess. Like I remember in second grade, they took me out of class. It was second or third grade, and they took me into this class with like a bunch of like the other, like it was like very specific kids with us. Like it was the weird ones. And I was like, I looked at who was around me, and I was like, no, I'm not, I don't belong here. I'm not what you think I am. And I remember that I like talked as much as I could, and I just like turned on the charm, and like I was just like I was so fake like that very first meeting just to get out of that class. Like I was like, you're not calling me back with like I don't want to be in this class. And they never called me back, and I was like, yes, it worked. It was really funny. But yeah, I just remember like from a very young age though, like let me think, like beyond that, like I was just really shy. I was really like stuck in like and within myself. And I had certain people I could really like come out of my shell with, but yeah, I had like people that I just like I adored the people in my life. They were like I thought I was the luckiest person in the world. Like it is so precious, honestly, thinking about like I just have the fondest memories of just like my family, like not my immediate family. but like my extended family, like my cousins, and like my church, like my youth group had like a bunch of people that weren't youth aged, but like I loved them so much. They were like 19, 20, and they were like still coming to the youth group, but like they were my favorite people. And I was just like 14, just like looking up to them, like, I love you. It would be like so funny. Like, yeah, like how could I, like, I hope I'm this kind of a person when I grow up. And right now, like, I know that like I know I have all these things within me, but I don't know how to express them. Like, I don't know how to get them out. And that was like so frustrating for me. And I remember I started like, yeah, really, well, I guess like, okay, so freshman year, I had like these two friends, and they were my only two friends, because like some of the other girls I was friends with, we grew apart, and I was just painfully shy anyway. So they were really mean to me, and I was just like, I don't know if it really like, I was never like crying about it. I was never like, this ruined my day, but I was just kind of like, this isn't a good environment for me to be in. So I don't know. I just one day at the end of freshman year, I was like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I think it was like in the lunchroom, it was like this big scene, and there she was like, well, good luck finding new friends. And I was like, thank you. I will have good luck finding new friends. Thank you for that. But like, I remember there was like a very intentional choice though within me. Like I went home and I immediately forgave them, which is like all God. Like the fact that I could just immediately forgive them. Yeah, that was really good. And then like, I remember like making like an internal vow that like I never wanted to make anyone feel like they weren't perfectly okay with being exactly who they were, because that was how I was made to feel by like my brother, my mom, these friends. Like I was just like, I feel like, yeah, like who I am is just not okay. Like innately. It was like I could even like it was really like I could cry, not because I still feel that way, but just because it's like, oh, little Kaylee, like you were so precious and loved. But yeah, I was like, I don't want to make anyone else feel that way. Like I want everybody to know that who they are is there's gold in every single person, and I'm gonna point that gold out to everybody and make them feel like that's special and help them to see it in themselves, you know. Like I'm really passionate about it still. um so I that was like my freshman year, and then the summer before my sophomore year, I didn't really think about it, honestly. I just like let it go, just enjoyed myself. But like right before school started, I got out my yearbook and I was like, okay, Kaylee, you're going into this with zero friends. Like, yeah, so this is an opportunity, actually. So all those, you don't have anything to lose at this point. Like you were so scared before of like just talking. Just say whatever. Like nobody has any impression of you. Like you have nothing to lose. You have no friends, you know? And went through my yearbook, and I intentionally circled, like I went through all the people and was like, I circled, I even categorized them. Like I had like levels of like how intentional I wanted to be in terms of like seeking out friendship with these people. And like, because I was like, okay, this person seems like they could be cool. They might be a green, they might be a red, like whatever. And like to an extent, I really did do that. Like yeah, I actually sought those people out, and it was a really, yeah, it was really awesome. Like coming out of my shell. I was homeschooled for like 2 days my freshman year. I hated it because I was like, I do things sometimes because it sounds like a good idea, and then like actually doing it, I'm like, oh, wait, this is the opposite of what I want to do. Like I actually hate this, because I was like, I don't like my mom and I'm home all day with her. Why did I think that was a good idea? And it was so good for my social life to not do that too. So I'm really grateful, and I like came out of my shell, but at the same time I was like so obsessed with my identity. It really was like, and I'm not even like, I hate, with like the knowledge I have about the Enneagram, like there's certain things I hate talking about because it always sounds like such a cliche, but I'm just like, I was so that, I don't know what everybody has their own interpretation of what it would mean, but like, yeah, it was so weird. I had like a list on my phone of like, yeah, just like things that I wanted to internalize and like cultivate within myself. Like I had like, whether it be like phrases that had like a certain like dynamisy to them, you know, like, okay, what kind of person would say this? Like that's really funny. And like, okay, like different like little advices for myself for how to be. It was just like, and I wanted like to try to incorporate those things and like into my like and it wasn't even like, because like I was really free spirited, and I was like more in the moment than I had been in a long time, you know, like my later years in high school. But like I would just like I was like, okay, so today I'm going to incorporate like these 3 things. And I would do that with a lot of things. Like I would be like, okay, this week I would go through the fruits of the spirit. I was like, this week's love. We're gonna focus on love. It was just so intentional about my character, which is good. But like even my identity too. It was like I wanted to be someone that I liked, and that was like, it was like, if I'm gonna be stuck with myself, and it was almost this feeling of like, okay, well, if no one else is gonna like me, then I at least have to. And so I want to become someone that I like. And like, oh, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't remember where I was going, but there was something else I was saying with that. Yeah, I just there was also, I guess, like this fear, because I remember the Lord like hinting to me. He was like, this is becoming an idol, you know, your identity, and you need to surrender it. And I was like, no. Thank you for the suggestion, but like I don't quite trust you there yet. Because I had this impression that like yeah, just like that, like, okay, yeah, if I'm stuck with myself, I want to be able to entertain myself. I want to find myself funny, amusing, whatever. Like, if I'm the only person I've got, then like, I want to like myself. And I was under this impression that like, if I surrendered my identity and who I was to Jesus, like he was going to strip me of all my uniqueness and like everything that made me like so special. And I was going to become this like really cookie cutter, cringy, basic Christian. Ugh, it was just like disgusting, the idea of it. And I was like, no. I like who I've created. I like my identity. I put a lot of time and effort into it. Like, this is my little hobby project over the last 4 years, and I love it. And it was an idol. And it really came crashing down my freshman year, honestly. I went to this stupid Christian school. I hated it. I don't even know why. I was like, I'm gonna be an astrophysicist. Let's study physics. And I was like, wow, that's hard. And I was like, well, I'll study engineering. Like, oh, it's like a little more creative. And like, I could not freaking pass calculus to save my life. And I had like 3 tutors. It was really pathetic. But like, I was so focused on my identity. And I was like, it was literally deterring my schoolwork, because I was like, I don't have any friends. Like how people were like responding to me, like whenever I would like throw myself, like I was just throwing my personality at people, and like they weren't responding in the same way like my friends from like high school and back home were. And I was like, wow, I just really feel like I'm not being accepted here. But like, it wasn't even me in a way, you know, it was like the me I'd curated. So yeah, that was really rough though. I went into like really deep like depression. I was spiraling. I was like, God doesn't even like me. I was just, I had a lot of mental health problems, and I dropped, they would have, I think, let me back in, but I ended up with like an impressively low GPA. I'm a little bit proud of it. 0.9. It's pathetic, because I was so focused on everything but school, and I thought I could give my same half-assed effort that I was giving in high school to college, because I was like, C's in college are fine because college is harder. So I'm just gonna try just as hard, and like I'm gonna try a C effort for high school and then get an F in college. So yeah, that was bad. And then I had to move to Louisiana because my parents had just moved there, and I didn't want to move there with them. I was like, you guys go have fun, do your own thing. But then I was like at this really low like place, and I was like, I have to humble myself. I will go to Louisiana. So I hated it there. It was sexist, it was racist, it was classist. It was like, oh my God, it was all of the worst things. Like, and it just felt like everybody was so fake. And I just, it was another like level of like, oh my God, I am not accepted anywhere. And I was like, okay, well, I don't really want these people to accept me, because I don't even like these people. I'm just going to leave this environment. So I left the South, and I threw a big fit about it. My parents were really annoyed. They were like, you like them, you hate them because they're too nice. And I was like, they're fake. They were obsessed with Louisiana. And so then I came back to Kansas City, and I was like, okay, well, everything will just be like it was, you know, and that's not really how life works. Like, everybody moves forward. I have to move forward. I have to keep developing. And so I was trying to cling to this past version of my identity that I had like in high school, I guess. And I was still trying to internalize those things, but it just was not working anymore. Like, I was just like, I was having panic attacks. I was spiraling. It was just so exhausting trying to like grasp onto this thing constantly that was just like a past fragment, you know? It wasn't who I am in the present. And so, yeah, that was weird. And then I went to jury. So final school I finally got my degree at jury, but I went to jury for architecture, and it was a really great decision. I went into it with a boyfriend that was really unhealthy and relationship wise, and yeah, I was still kind of like, I think it was a little bit freeing, but I wasn't quite there yet. I think like the moment that the moment like where it broke was like it was either like I was about to break up with him or I had just broken up with him. It was really the relationship, I was over it. And I remember I was journaling and I was like, Jesus, I have tried everything I could think of. Like, I have like manipulated myself and like gone through so many stupid little like rabbit holes in my mind to try to like just resolve this and find peace. And like, I'm tired and I've tried everything except for trusting you. And I was just like, I just made the commitment right there just to surrender it. And it was amazing though. I just felt so much freedom. I was like, because it was like he restored me back to me in a better way. Because it was like, wait, you like me. You don't think being funny is a sin. I really thought that for a minute, actually. Like I was just getting like, I think it was just lies getting so in my head. But like, yeah, I was like, it was just really amazing, like discovering who I am in Christ. And I think that's like, I don't hyperfixate on my identity anymore. For that reason, because I'm just like, it's solid, dude. Like you've got it. I like who I am in you. Like, and as long as I'm in you, as long as I'm with you, Jesus, then I am everything I could ever want to, like more than what I could want to be, because you give me like your vision of myself, which I've now learned is good. And I also like, he blessed me with this whole new friend group because I had like no friends still. And it was like basically the friend group I dreamed of when I was a kid, you know, like I had all these plans of like, oh, all these people. And it was like, I can finally just be myself with these people. And like, you know, it wasn't like Louisiana. It wasn't like, my freshman year of college. It wasn't like all of those things. I was just like, I just felt really free, and like, they love Jesus. And it was crazy. Like, I remember me and my friend Iris being like, this is like a dream. Like, this doesn't feel real. We've always dreamed of this. So it was really awesome. And then I went to school for architecture, obviously, and that was just like a blast, but it was also so stressful because I'm an idiot. And so like, in your freedom, do not sin. I just kind of threw that out the window. So I had all this freedom and I was like trusting Jesus. And then I got myself into just the messiest love triangle, and it stressed me out. I was so stressed about relationships for a majority of school. Yeah, just romantic relationships really, with a specific one or two people, but yeah, school was amazing. What do I say? I was really friends with the internationals mostly. That was even in high school. I was pretty much only friends with the internationals because I just think like Americans, I don't know, they're a little detached from reality in a way that people from other countries, it's just like, yeah, it just seems like they get it in a way. Like, they have this very bigger world view than what Americans have. And I love just like recognizing them, feeling honored for their culture, because like you know, they come to America, their names aren't even said right, and like a name is so important to a person's identity. And so like I want to, and like their language, you know, they can't fully express themselves because the language you speak affects the way you think. And so like, I just want to I want them to feel like seen and known, you know, like they are, I love, really, really do. Like, I'm passionate about it. Yeah. So yeah, school's fun. School's really stressful, but I love architecture. I love the creative process. I freaking didn't sleep a lot, but, I think it's funny because like I was like always like really good at concepts, and I was conceptually very strong, like that everybody kind of knew that. I wasn't very like structurally like realistic strong, and that's something I've grown in. But at the same time though, architecture is so funny because like we're all such pretentious little snobs, you know, and like but it's all such bullshit because I realized that like even if like my actual model in Revit isn't finished, I can just fake it in Photoshop, and it's all just like, and you can't do that in the firm, but like school is just so much the creative process, which is great. And like there were so many times where like I loved my concept, you know, but there were like a couple of semesters specifically where I'm like, we started out really strong, it's not looking too good now though. And so like you just give them like the most, like, you know, it's embellished. It's like, you've got the concept, obviously I had the concept, it was there, but it's just so overly embellished, and they just eat it right up, and they're like, okay, well, at least she has a concept. And even though, oh man, some of them, I'm thinking of one semester specifically, actually. Well, okay, my last semester of college, my car got broken into, and I lost everything, like all my work during finals week. It was like, it was a nightmare. Yeah, my backpack got stolen out of my car, and my laptop in it, and nothing was backed up because I'm dumb. And yeah, I lost literally everything during finals week my senior year, and so I almost didn't pass. But that was not because of anything other than just bad luck, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I love to travel. I studied abroad, and I went to, like, I think I've been to 17 countries total. So yeah, just getting to like travel, and like it feels really weird right now because I haven't like I've been in one place for a really long time, and that's been the case since COVID pretty much, and it's very strange. Like, I'm used to moving around a lot, so it's actually very strange. I guess I'm getting closer to like my friend group, but I don't know, I have a really big itch to move, honestly. I really feel like I need to. What else? Oh yeah, I was engaged, and you know that, Jack. That happened in 2020, and that was so weird. That was the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. I don't even know what to think about it. It happened so quickly. I told you I met him in February of 2020. We started dating in March, got engaged in May. The wedding was for September, and I ended it 4 days before my wedding. And yeah, I don't think I'm fully healed from it, unfortunately, and I think it's affected a lot of things and a lot of like my trajectory, and I hate that because I feel like I said, I've been intentionally developing my character from a very young age. So I'm like, I'm like, it's really hard. It's just been really hard, like, not like letting go, because I just don't understand. It just doesn't make sense, I guess, why I felt like this was like the person God wanted for me, which I didn't even believe in that, but it felt so clear, you know. And then I actually am not going to get into it because it's just going to derail the whole video. But yeah, anyway, yeah. And it sucks too, because usually when things like that happen to me, like I have testimonies when bad things happen to me. Like, I turn them into testimonies, and like this, I'm just like, I don't know, and it bothers me. But yeah, like, I don't want it to just be a shitty thing that happened to me. And what else? Yeah, I think, like, honestly, after my engagement, life has been a bit of a blur. So I'm just like, wow, it's been like almost 4 years, but like, what have I done? I told you I did YWAM, and yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, I just feel like my life feels kind of stuck right now. And I know everybody's felt that way since COVID, but it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know. So I feel like I talked really fast because I already recorded a version of this earlier today, but I actually like, I like this one better, I think. Even though I like a lot of the things I said in the other one and whatever, but I feel more authentic, and I feel better having gone through my life than like having to like come up with like answers to questions that, like, I don't know, are just so random to me, I guess. And like, I don't know, I feel more connected and present just being able to go through my life. It feels more natural. So yeah, that's all, because it's 25, that's like 24 minutes now. I just looked at the time. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope this is enough. Why do I feel like I'm talking to you right now and I don't want to stop? Like, I'm like on FaceTime right now, and I'm like, let's talk. Like, what do you think? I want to hear you talk. Okay, anyway, bye.